We know just how important money is to you. It doesn't go as far as it used to, and there's nothing worse than buying something that looks good, only to find out it's not good. That's where Prudent Player Reviews comes in. We taste test the best and worst ways for you to spend a tenner, giving you our honest opinions and making sure your money goes on the things that are worthy of it. Any listener of our Seen It or Not podcast will know that I'm a massive sucker for anything sci-fi or fantasy. When I saw the Technomancer in the £4 and under PlayStation sale, I immediately got a mental boner. Not only is it based on Mars during a dystopian future ruled by corporations, you get to play as some kind of space wizard, capable of going full on Emperor Palpatine with lightning fingers, or cosplaying as General Grievous's Magna Guards, with a lightsaber repelling lightning staff. At just $3.99, or something in yen, is a Technomancer worth your hard-earned wonga. In this future scenario, you get to customise your character's appearance, and can play as a badass white man, black man, or Asian man. Wait a minute, you can't switch genders. Oh, I guess sexism made it to space, did it? The Mars of the Technomancer is bleak. Even Matt Damon had more greenery than this morose bunch. I'm getting serious Sith vibes from the Technomancer order, and I'm pretty sure there's sexual tension between lead character Zachariah and his master, who looks like the love child of Lucius Malfoy and King Thranduil. The lip sync and voiceover in this game is as badly timed as early male pattern baldness, and the base sensitivity for movement in the camera is mental. With just a quick adjustment, it is more than serviceable though. The game allows you to hot swap between 4 different fighting styles. A Guardian uses a mace and a shield, a Technomancer uses almost exclusively charged magical attacks, the Warrior uses the charged staff and looks damn fine and acrobatic whilst doing it, and the Rogue uses a sword and a gun. Being a natural middle of the road kind of guy, who's quite fond of planting his fat ass on the fence, not wanting to pick between physical or ranged attacks, I of course went for the Rogue. Interestingly, in this game, stabbing or shooting the crap out of an enemy and depleting their health bar 100% doesn't mean they're actually dead. They might look dead, and they ain't getting back up, but you would actually only kill someone when you go over to their body and select the Drain option. Drain allows you to get serum from their still warm corpse, which is the currency of this future Mars colony. What kind of fucked up currency is that? Combat in this game is very acrobatic, and slow motion is as prevalent as a Hollywood blockbuster. It feels like a Slow Mo Guys video, directed by Gavin Free, as well-timed dodge and retaliation attacks trigger these moments of clarity. Although appealing at first, the combat itself can get pretty repetitive, and enemies take far more hits than they should to actually go down, even low-level grunts. The enemies can get pretty repetitive too, until you're thrown against Technomancers from other corporations, which spice things up a bit. Oh hell no, no one said anything about fighting giant spider kaiju. Where the heck's Godzilla when you need him? As monotonous as they can sometimes be, fights do get easier after a few hours when you're finally saddled with a team. They both bring something different to the fight, and you can kit them out as you want to complement your own loadout. But this David's a real dick. The Technomancers themselves seem a bit shady, and they keep talking about keeping secrets. They've definitely taken wardrobe and interior decorating tips from the Necromongers in Chronicles of Ravik, and I certainly didn't sign up to join this kind of cult. One of the main antagonists in the game is called Anton Rogue. He's like Kingpin from Spider-Man comics, but in space. With a name like Rogue, he wasn't exactly going to grow up to be a pastry chef, and he looks like a right wrong'un. The Technomancer treats character surnames kind of like bastards in Game of Thrones. Scientists or scholars are named Seeker, Mancer seems to be quite prestigious for some reason in military circles, and people from the slums are called rogues. If you think that's a bit insulting to poor people, just wait to see what they're doing with mutants. The people who have been exposed to the radiation from the sun on Mars. They're slaves. Just because they look different, they're treated less than human. That's some heavy-handed social commentary and colonialism for you. This game is definitely for you if you're a fan of loading screens, because it has a bunch, and they're rather frequent. You'll spend most of the first half of the game moving between the 3 levels of the city of Ophir, named the Exchange, the Slums, and the Underworks. Transitioning between each one triggers often lengthy loading times, and even opening doors triggers an animation that gets incredibly mind-numbing after about 3 minutes. If you also like getting penalised even though you did all the objectives requested, this game is right up your street. Did I mention the combat's repetitive? This game has side quests upon side quests upon side quests. It's not quite The Witcher 3 of video games, but when some are time sensitive, how am I supposed to prioritise between a terrorist bomb on a train and a missing prostitute? The amount of side characters looking for suspiciously missing family and friends gives me this distinct impression that most of them were probably sleeping with the space fishers thanks to that Kingpin bloke. Metaphorically speaking, of course, since water is a precious commodity, and the story is set on Mars during a hosepipe ban. The game gives you choices throughout as to whether you're going to be a pawn of the state or to be your own man. Your decisions affect your standing with certain factions, and will potentially make future relationships and missions easier or harder based on your choices. That being said, if I went all in on my mutant reputation, I wonder whether I could lead the glorious revolt that's seriously needed. Guess what? Spoiler warning, David turns out to be a spy! So how are we going to tackle this, pal? Allow him to leave or shoot him? Not really an hard choice, is it? Sorry, Dave. This game does have some nice UI choices. Being able to place the map over the screen whilst you navigate the terrain is a nice design addition, since most of the locales are maze-like messes, and loading up the menu and trying to memorise a route takes far too much time. So that's the Technomancer. It's a game that's certainly not top shelf and can be incredibly repetitive, but there's actually a good story of oppression and struggle hidden underneath. If you're partial to a dystopian tale told from the perspective of a Mars warlock who dresses like a techno-goth vampire metalhead, this could be for you, and at under the price of a Starbucks coffee, it won't break the bank either.